All right, so week 2, playing the Ghost, race to 7 as usual, and I get a good break here. 1 in the bottom left, 2 in the top right, 3 in the top left, 5 in the bottom right, 6 in the top left, 7 in the bottom left, 8 in the side, and 9 in the corner on the top right. So I've been shooting okay, but speed has been a problem. It's humid today, so my leaves are moving slowly. So this 2, I just want to pull back. I want to get as much of a line on this 3, as much angle on the 3 as I can. I get really, really lucky there. That was a horrible shot that somehow paid off. And when I cut the 3, I know I'm going to go back and forth on it, but the whole center of the table is wide open, so there's no traffic to worry about, and the 5's a fairly easy shot from anywhere out there. Now here I know I'm going to be close to the 7, so I hit it even harder than I was. I do make contact with the 7. I would have been okay either way. Now, the 6 ball here is a stun shot, and so I'm going to... There are 2 ways to play this. One is I play it softer, and I roll up the rail and off the end rail and play the 7. The second way is what I choose, and this is probably the harder of the 2 because I have to really bury the 6 to get enough movement to get to the 7, and I end up dead straight in on the 7. I actually wanted to be a little bit on the camera left of the 7 so that I could shoot it in and just drift over, cut the 8 in the side and roll up the table, but instead I'm dead straight in, so I decided to stop it and use English off the 8 to get my leave. So I have plenty of room to cheat this pocket to get my angle, and I shoot it. 1 ball doesn't come anywhere near as far up the table as I'd like, but the 9's definitely makeable, and I make it. The score now 1-0. That was the first rack. Okay, rack number 2. I don't know if you saw it, but I hit off the side of the 1 ball instead of the top of it. And you can see that this is not an easy rack. There's traffic up there in the middle. The 2 ball goes in the side on the left, and that is the only pocket that it will play in. So I'm going to run up the rail just very gently. If I come up short, I'll play the combination, but the 2-9 combination, but I'd much rather cut in the side. You'll find that if you watch the pros, most of them will avoid the combination at pretty much any cost. It's a very difficult shot to do a combination, even unless it's just wired in the pocket. So I cut the 2 in the side. I shoot the 3. Now I need to come around, or I need to hold the cue ball up a little for the 4 in the side, but I miss the 3, and then, hey, it's 9 ball. The 3 ball goes in the side. I get to keep shooting, but really this rack should have been over right there with the miss on the 3. Just got a little bit of luck. So I'm going to shoot the 4 in the side, and I'm going to come up and down the table. And I hit the 6, which is normally a bad thing, but in this case it actually helped me out. I end up with a makeable cut on the 5. It's not a great shot on the 5, but it's makeable. For anybody except me. I missed the 5 now. I know that I'm out here, so I want to, there's a little hitch in my stroke, I want to fix it. So I go ahead and shoot these out. You can see how hard I'm hitting these to get any motion. It's almost like the carpet is soaked in water. But just to prove to myself that I would have been out, I'm going to finish out this rack. I did lose it. Counts as a loss. Got to be honest with yourself when you're playing. But you can see, I would have gotten out. Alright, so back to playing the Ghost. Decent break. Not a great one. The 7 does go by the 9 ball in either direction. So 7 ball is good for either of the top 2 pockets. A little bit hinky, but I should be able to get out on it if I play the leave right. Biggest challenge here is going to be getting from the 7 to the 8. Yeah, I flirt a little bit with the 5 ball, but it's really not an issue. I would have had to have hit that exactly wrong to make contact with the 5 and hide myself. 3 ball, now I'm stretching and I shouldn't be doing this. I should have gotten the bridge. I end up a little short on the 4. I wanted to be more straight in. Closer to straight in, not exactly straight in. Now I'm going to have to go back and forth across the table to get my leave. And I end up on the wrong side of the 5. So my choices here are I can roll the cue ball forward, or I can try for the hero shot. But the funny thing is that no matter what I do here, I can't end up any worse than I would be if I slow rolled off the 5. So I decided to go for the hero shot. I'm going to try to run this around the table, air out my stroke a little bit. And imagine that. I'm going to end up almost exactly on the same line I would have been if I slow rolled forward off the 5. And then I just miss. I missed that whole ball and came off the rail. I'm pretty sure that would have been a foul. All right, so this is a great layout. If you look at it, the 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all at one end of the table, so I should be able to just touch shot everything in down there. From the 4, I have to get up the table for the 6, but then once I do, the 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all on that same half of the table. So this is definitely a very, very runnable table. I'm not worried about having gotten over the top of the 3. It just doesn't matter at this point. This is not a hard shot. It's basically straight in. As long as I get out from behind the 4, I'll be just fine, and I do. Use the rails to manage the speed to get on the 4. Okay, now this shot is one you're going to shoot, or you're going to see a lot. We're actually going to do a practice drill on this. It's coming off shooting the 4 in and going 2 rails to get the leave on the other end rail. This comes up almost every game where there's movement from one end of the table to the other. That's how you do it. Sometimes you play it off the side rail, sometimes you play it off the long or sometimes you play it off the side rail, sometimes you play it off the end rail, but that's exactly how you move from one end of the table to the other. And then I miscue. No doubt in my mind I would have been out there if I didn't miscue. Alright, next rack. No problems on the table. This should be a gimme. Biggest challenge here is the 4 to the 6, and even that's not that bad. This is very, very close to just stop pool. Little draw, little here and there, but other than that, it's just a pretty basic rack. Roll forward off the 2 for the 3, 3 in the side, pull back for the 4, come off the 4 for the 6 in the bottom left corner, stop the ball for the 7, roll up for the 8, make the 9. I did not get as much as I wanted to. I ended up having to do more with this ball than I really wanted. But but we're still in, I mean, we're still in very makeable position. Like I said, I had to come off 2 rails. Now I get really lucky there. I don't hit the rail. I hit the edge of the side, but still just fine. I use a little bit of draw to keep it out of the corner pocket. A little bit of left to get around the table for the 7. And now it's just roll it up, roll it up. So I'm going to get out on this. It's going to be 2 to 3. Had some technical difficulties. I ran out of storage on the camera. I'm going to have to buy a bigger card for it. I lost the rest of this match. So in this match, I had one rack where I shoot the 1 and I make it, but I hook myself on the 2, just dead frozen in jail. I do manage to actually make it, make the 2, but I'm just so far out of line that it just doesn't work, and I end up unable to complete the rack. And so I have another one where I have that normal cut shot in the corner on the 9, and I just miss it. And then the rest of the racks I run to the 6 or the 7, and then either miss or get out of line. Definitely still need to do some practice. Definitely need to work on some things. So there's something I want to mention here. So in pro games, the break is absolutely important. I would say 80% or more of all game, and I'm just making up these statistics. I haven't actually done a study on it, but I would say 80% of all pro games are determined by the break. If a ball goes in, the player runs out. If a ball doesn't go in, the player doesn't run out. So either the breaking player makes a ball and runs out, or the breaking player doesn't make a ball and the other player runs out. I would say about 10% of outcomes are because of a difficult table position after the break, and one of the players makes either a spectacular breakout to nudge the balls around enough to be able to get out, or a player or a safety battle ensues, and the winner of the safety battle ends up running out. The final 10% are determined by just misses, just like the one you just saw. So nothing spectacular about these next couple of racks in terms of break and run. I kind of left them in there so you can see if I had to shoot from where that cue ball was, that's a very, very difficult shot. I'm letting my break go all over the place. That's something I need to work on. I'm breaking at about 2/3 of my tops of my normal break speed right now. It's a good break, but I've lost control of the cue ball way too much. The cue's ending up in bad positions where I can't get out, and that is something I'm going to have to work on. When you have ball in hand, these tables should, almost by definition, be easy. And by the way, watch this miscue. I was reaching, it was a bad stroke, and I just did everything I could possibly do wrong on that one. Perfect example of why you should use the bridge rather than stretch. I stretched, I end up miscuing. I put the ball back where the mark on the table was from the miscue. And now using, and I'm double checking them in the right place. Same shot, identical shot. Now I'm going to use the bridge. And even with a pretty bad hit on the bridge, you can see that was still miles better than jumping the ball off the table. And I left this one in because it's got a great shot in it. I think this is the one. Nope, it's not. But again, you can see after the break, I really don't have a good shot here. If I'm not playing the ghost, this is a very difficult table. If I'm playing the ghost, it's not. And that's my point in what I was saying up to this point. Anyhow, if you like what you see, hit like, subscribe, ding the bell for notifications, and we'll see you next time around.
Time shot.